What is up, though, Lions fans? It's your boy, Motor City Don P, and we are back once again. We are on Detroit Syndicate Sports, and we've got a little video for you today. Talking about the preseason, man, because I am hearing a lot of speculation. I am hearing a lot of conjecture, and there are a lot of people talking about the preseason. Does it matter? Doesn't it not matter? The fans are saying it doesn't matter. The football players are saying that it matters, and so on and so forth. It's really not that big of an issue to understand. It doesn't matter to us as fans of the game. It doesn't matter to the NFL as actual records go, because when the preseason is over, nothing carries into anything. Not the records and not even the play. Remember, as Detroit Lions fans, we understand 4-0, 0-16. So there are people like me that will tell you that it doesn't matter, and I don't get excited for the preseason because it doesn't matter to me, and I don't get excited for the preseason. It also doesn't matter at the top of the depth chart. Aiden Hutchinson, doesn't matter if he plays in the preseason or not. He's not gonna be on the roster bubble. Penei Sewell, Jared Goff, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery. Okay? Khalif Raymond. Y'all been trying to take Khalif Raymond's spot for like 3 years. Y'all been trying to get him off this team. He don't play in the preseason. Why doesn't he play in the preseason? Because he's not in danger of losing his roster spot. He doesn't have to make the team. He's on the team. They love him. He's part of the team. He's part of the leadership council and all that, whatever you want to call it, right? So the players that are not playing in the preseason, it doesn't matter to them. The fans who are watching in the preseason and we just trying to get a fix of football before the real thing starts, doesn't matter to us. So who does it matter to? The football players. I saw Ephraim Salam, and he was talking about how he was a 7th round draft pick and he had the opportunity to play because he made the team in the preseason, and then he went on to have a storied career in the NFL as a right and left tackle because he made the team in preseason. Again, he was a 7th round draft pick. Okay. Our 1st and 2nd round draft picks didn't even play game 1 of the preseason. And we really don't even know how much they're going to play. They played in game 2, right? Tyleik Williams, Tate Ratledge, they played in week 2, but they didn't play the whole game or even the whole first half, right? So they're pretty much protected because they're going to make the team. Isaac Tesla plays, and Tesla has been phenomenal. Do you think that Tesla is in the same situation that Dylan Drummond was in last season? Do you think, or the season before last, do you think that Isaac Tesla is in the same situation as Doris Fountain or Kalen Davis or Donovan Peoples-Jones or any of these people that were trying to make the roster out of camp? So making the roster out of camp is a thing, and that's who it matters to. I think a lot of the ex-football players, especially the ones that have made the team during preseason, what's striking a chord with them and kind of getting on their nerves is people saying, well, the preseason doesn't matter. It doesn't to us. But we all know that it matters to you to make the team. We all know that for the few roster spots that are available. If you look at the Detroit Lions, how many roster spots do you think are available at the quarterback position? Well, there are 3 because Hendon Hooker right now is looking like he's going to be your emergency quarterback. Break glass in front of him in case of emergency because that's the kind of play that he's been putting out there. Who else do you think is in that situation? Craig Reynolds? No. Craig Reynolds is probably going to make the team, right? Didn't they just re-sign him? Extended his contract, right? He re-upped with the Detroit Lions? Okay. Right? We said Isaac Tesla, he's a third-round draft pick. We traded a gang of them things when we talking about picks for Isaac Tesla. We ain't got no more third-round draft picks for the next 2 years because we traded them away for Isaac Tesla. Do you think he's making the team? He's going to make the team out of camp? No, he's on the team. He's got a roster spot. How many roster spots do you think are up for grabs? How many positions do you think need to be secured with the Detroit Lions? Right? Look at your starting defensive line. Aiden Hutchinson, Tyleik Williams, DJ Reader, and Marcus Davenport. Look at your starting linebacking core. Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes. Look at your starting secondary. Terrion Arnold, Amik Robertson in the nickel, Kirby Joseph, Brian Branch, DJ Reed. Are there any battles in that entire defensive lineup that I just gave you? I just gave you 12 people because of the nickel. Are there any positional battles? No. There are no positional battles. Even on the offensive line, it looked like in the beginning we could have had a battle between Graham Glasgow and Tate Ratledge as far as who was going to be the starting center. But it wouldn't have really been a battle because if Tate Ratledge was going to be the starting center, then guess what? Graham Glasgow would have been the starting right guard. Now that Graham Glasgow is going to be the starting center, Tate Ratledge is going to be the starting right guard. There are no battles. So all the camp battles that we're talking about are guys that are on the fringe, guys that are second string or worse. So yes, if we're talking about the preseason mattering, it does really matter for those guys that do not have roster spots. The guys, not just for the Detroit Lions, but for the vast majority of other teams, the guys that are on the roster firmly do not play in the preseason. Now, we've seen some outliers like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase wanting to go out there and get some work. But then we've seen guys like Anthony Richardson go out there and play and get hurt, and now Danny Dimes is in. Anthony Richardson is the starting quarterback for now. He ain't the answer. That's why he's out there playing in the preseason and getting hurt. The vast majority of teams that have their answer at quarterback are not playing them. The vast majority of teams that have their answer at insert position here are not playing them. Does the preseason matter? Yes and no. That's the answer. It matters to who it matters to, but to the vast majority of the people on the outside and on the inside, it doesn't matter at all. Coaches are evaluating players. Yes, they are. Coaches are deciding who's going to make the final 53. Yes, they are. But that who's going to make the final 53 is probably between, I'll be generous and say 20 players. Right? I'll be generous and say 20 players because you have your backups and your preferred backups. Right? You got your starting 22 already, 11 on both sides of the ball. You probably have at least 10 preferred backups. You've got your nickel, which is it's a situation that isn't a base position, but it is you have a starting nickel. So it does matter slightly. But all of you ex-football players out there thinking that people say the preseason doesn't matter at all for any reason, we're not saying that. Y'all can pump the brakes. It's not that big of a topic. I appreciate y'all for staying till the end. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you let everybody know what is going on at Detroit Sports Syndicate. And again, I am the Motor City Cat, Motor City Don P. Once again, the Motor City Cats are indeed back at it. We came to give you stats, not none of that static. Whatever you do, make sure you keep your lines news pragmatic. And we are out. Peace.